Hi besties, welcome back to the channel. This is So. On today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how I made this simple back waistline top with a flare sleeve. It has a belt, you can tie it in the front or at the back, and this top you can make it as long as you want it. So to get all the details, do not skip any part of this video, and do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. So here, this is the fabric I'm using. It's a leftover fabric I used for my last tutorial, and I've marked my zipper allowance for the back piece, so I have both the front and the back together. Now I'm going to come down 9 inches for my chest line. So to get your chest line, divide your rhombus by 6, then whatever it gives you, add 1.5 to that. For my waist, I marked 16.5 for my waist, so my waist is 16 inches. I added half an inch stitching allowance to that. Now I'm going to take my shoulder measurement. So my round shoulder divided by 2 give you 7.5, which is 15. I mark that on the starting line and on the chest line. I'll connect the lines together. For the neck width, I made use of a neck width of 3 inches, and I came down 3 inches, 1 inch for the front neck, for the back neckline, and 3 inches for the front neckline. 1 inch for the back, 3 inches for the front, because this top has a zip at the back. And I came down 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and I connected to the neck width. I'll measure what I have on the armhole. I'll get middle of that. On that point, I came in by half an inch. On the chest line, I'll divide my rhombus by 4. I will mark, and I'll connect to cover out my armhole. I'm going to add 1.5 inches for my stitching allowance. On the waistline, I'll divide my round waist by 4. I'll mark, I'll add 1.5 inches for stitching allowance, and I'll connect together. So now we're done drafting out the basic bodies. Now for the back waistline, before we do that, we're going to curve out our main body measurement, which is this. Now to get the length of your top, I didn't want mine to be too long, so I came down from the waistline by 5 inches. So if you want it to be as long as the one on the video that we are recreating, you can come down by 7 inches, but I didn't want it that long, so I came down by 5 inches. So now to connect for the back waistline, we're connecting from our main body measurements, because the 1.5 inches sewing allowance, we are still going to sew it in. So we'll connect from our actual body measurement to the full length of the top. So just watch carefully, it's very easy. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comment section. Now this is what I have. I'll be adding half an inch to that measurement for stitching, because we'll be turning this top with a lining. So after adding the half an inch, we're going to connect it. Now we're done. The next thing is just to cut out all the excess we have. So guys, before we get back to the video, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and give my videos a thumbs up. The more you give it a thumbs up, or you like the videos, the more it gets to a wider audience. So please like, share and subscribe to my channel. So you cut out your back neckline first, the shoulder, then the back armhole first. Then after that, we're going to separate both the front and the back. We'll separate the front and the back, and we're going to open up the zipper allowance for the back piece. For the front piece, we're going to place it together this way, cut out the neckline for the front, and we're going to trim off the half an inch on the armhole for the front piece. So we'll be using this piece now to cut out our lining. So I'll cut that out and show you what I have. So here I have my lining. I'll go stitch the neckline with half an inch. Then I'll stitch the sides with half an inch, stitch the lowest part. The sides, I'll just stitch the sides with half an inch. I'll do the same for the back piece. I'll stitch the neckline, stitch the sides. We're leaving the shoulders open, so I'll do that and bring it back to show you what I have. Now after stitching and I've ironed it out, this is how neat the inside of my top looks like. For the back piece, I've equally stitched and I've closed my zipper allowance, so I left some open. So you're free to close your backs all the way down, but I didn't want that, so I left some parts open. So next thing is to turn our shoulder. So we join both shoulders together, so place them together this way. Lining, place you place the linings together and the main piece together, and we're going to take it to the machine, and now we are going to stitch with 1/2 inch on both sides of the shoulders. So pin it down, then go stitch. So I'll do that and bring it back to show you what I have. So after stitching, this is how neat the shoulder line looks. Now we're going to fold it together this way. Remember that this top has a zipper allowance, has a belt, sorry. So now initially I came up by 1 inch and added my belt, but later I loosed it and I came up by 2 inches. So depending on where you want your belt to be. So for the belt, I have a length of 40 inches and the width is 1.5 inches. So I place it on that 1 inch mark. So at this point I have not corrected it, so I place it on that 1 inch mark and I pinned. So if you notice, you see I have a little bit excess on the side. It is fine, it did not affect my body measurement. So I'll do that and I'll stitch it with the allowance we added. So remember, we added 1.5 inches allowance and we've used 1/2 inch to turn with lining, so we have 1 inch left. Or you can actually measure you can actually take your body measurement to be sure that your measurement is correct. So after doing that, I'll pin it down and I'll take it to the machine to stitch it down. So I'll do that and bring it back to show you what I have. So after stitching, this is how neat everything came out looking. So like I said, I have a little opening at the bottom part. This is how I want mine to be. You're free to close yours all the way down. So we're going to keep this aside so that we're going to draft out our sleeve for this top. So for the sleeve, this is the material I'm using. We are drafting out the short sleeve first. So I came down 4 inches for my biceps. For the sleeve length, I used 13 inches. So the first sleeve, the short sleeve, is stopping at your elbow. So take your elbow measurement from your shoulder to the elbow. So now on that bicep, I'll divide my round armhole and I'll mark the measurement. Mine is 9 inches. And I added 1 inch stitching allowance to that measurement. I'll connect from our starting line to that 9 inches. So now I'll measure what I have there. I'll get the middle of it. I have 11 and half of 11 is 5.5. So from the upper parts, I'm going to come up by 1/2 inch, curve and curve it all the way down. So this is how easy it is to draft your sleeve. Now to get your measurements for the sleeve length, you're going to take your round elbow measurements this way, just the way I'm measuring it. So place it like this to be sure you can move your hands freely. So on the sleeve length, we're taking the measurement on the elbow this way. So after getting it, so this is what I have. I'll put the measurement I have there on the sleeve length plus my stitching allowance. I'll connect. So this is how it is to draft out your sleeve. So I'll trace off the excess I have on the sides of the sleeve. So this is what we have. So I have the two sleeves together. I'll take it to the machine and stitch with 1 inch. Now to cut out the flip part, so this is the first one I'm using. I folded into 2, then folded it again into 4. So we are cutting out the short parts because this sleeve has the long one and the short parts. So I'll divide my round elbow measurement by 6.28. I have 1.9, so I approximated it to 2. So whatever little excess I have there, I'll just split it. So now I'll mark the 2 inches from the tip of the folded fabric this way. So I divided my round elbow, whatever measurement you have on that elbow, with the elbow measurements we took, you divide it by 6.28, whatever it gives you, then you mark. Mine was 1.9. I approximated it to 2. Now for the first length of the sleeve, the short one, I made use of 4 inches for the first short length because this is a leftover fabric. I'm working with a leftover fabric, so if you have enough fabric, you can make your sleeve longer than mine, but I didn't have enough fabric. So, and you can equally make this flay a high-low if you're working with enough fabric. So I don't have enough fabric, so that is why I'm making use of what I have. So I just marked 4 inches for the length, and for the radius is 2 inches, and I'll cut that out. After that, I trim off the edge this way. So if I open it, this is what I have. So I'll use this to cut out a second piece for it. So here I have the 2 pieces. So this is the 2 pieces for the 2 sleeve. I'll keep this aside to cut out the big one. So for the big one, just like I did for the front, I folded this one into 4-2, and we're going to be marking 2 inches for the radius because it's the same thing. So I'll mark it all around. And for the length, I made use of 7 inches for the length. So the short one is 4 inches and the long one is 7 inches. Like I said, you can make it longer than mine if you have enough fabric, and you can even make it a high-low flace sleeve like the one we're trying to recreate. So after that, I'm going to trim off. I'll cut off the upper part. So here I have the front and I'm cutting 2 pieces for it. So I have the 2 pieces and I've pinned it down to hold it down. So to join it to the sleeve, I'll place it in this way. So you can use the stitch to hold it together, or you can just use pin to hold the 2 flates together. So I'll put it in this way. I'll take it to the machine. I'll stitch it all around. So after stitching it, this is how the sleeve looks. So to attach it to the top, I've already attached one of the sleeve to the top already. So this one is already attached to the top. Now to attach it to the top, this is what I do all the time here. So I'll just open up the seam of the sleeve, and I'll open up the seam of the top, and I'll pin them together. I'll take it to the machine and stitch with 1/2 inch. So if there's any other way you stitch your sleeve, you're free to do that. At the end of the day, we arrive at the same thing. So I'll do that and bring it back to show you. Now after stitching my top, this is how easy it is to draft out this top. So the next thing I'll do is I'll just go to the market and I'm going to weave it all around. So thank you guys so much for watching up to this point. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and to on your post notification. I'll see you on my next video. Bye.